So today at work, one of my managers or somebody who's above me came at me really crazy today, and it really reaffirms everything that I've been talking about or that I believe, which is that like if you're a certain type of person that gets kind of bullied or like shit on in your life or early on in your life or anything like that, it's going to continue for the rest of your life. And my life is definitely just like that. It's very true to my life. I've been shit on and bullied my entire life. I don't know if it's because I come off as like a nice guy or something, and people just take advantage of that, or maybe I think it's really a combination of that. How I look, like I'm skinny, not that great looking. You know, my hair's kind of fucked right now too. Anyways, I gotta cut it. But she came at me really crazy today, and I'm just like, wow, this is not new to me at all. I mean, people have been doing that, abusing me like forever. I don't want to sound like a victim, but it just is what it is. I mean, so basically the radiologist kept coming at her saying like, hey, like the scans are getting fucked up, like, you know, somebody's fucking the scans up, blah blah blah. And I guess my name got through in there. I'm a new guy, so you know, I fuck up. We all do, like especially when you're new and you're learning. But I get trained, so I always have somebody next to me telling me what to do exactly. And so I don't want to blame anyone else, but basically it falls on the tech who's with me because they tell me what to do, and I don't really stray away from that. So when the radiologists are getting pissed, they're saying, oh, you know, whatever's fucked up. Now she's coming at me though. She came at me specifically. She was heated. She was mad. And just no respect. Like, I know for a fact she wouldn't come at other people like that. And then, you know, she tried to play it off like, oh, well, this is a message for everybody. But she came at me specifically. Like, I'm just like the punching bag. It's old. I already know how this goes. I've been here a million times. But it's just like, dude, I can't escape it. Like I said, you can't escape the black pill. And when I say black pill, I don't mean just like looks and looks back. I don't care about that stupid shit. I'm talking about like black pill as in you cannot escape your fate. You cannot escape your destiny. If you're meant to be like a little pussy bitch that gets like beat around your entire life, that's just what it's going to be. And you can't really change that. I've done so much in my life to try and change that, but it just doesn't work. I used to lift weights every single day. Like lifting weights was my life for like 8 years. I even took steroids to get really big and swole. So I felt like maybe it'll look cool. And on top of that, maybe people will leave me alone. Maybe people will respect me at that point. None of that happened. Now I don't lift weights, obviously, and I'm a skinny guy again. But it's like, I just can't escape my destiny. I'm destined to be some like punching bag little pussy who, you know, gets walked all over. And somebody commented on one of my last videos, like my first video, and they said, hey, you gotta stand up for yourself. And I totally agree. I've done that so many times in my life though, and it always turns out really bad because when you're in these environments, like a work environment where all these people don't like you, if you stand up for yourself, they're gonna further gaslight you and say, oh, look, you're crazy. Like, that's not happening. Nothing's happening. You're just making it all up. I've dealt with that a few times. I would stand up for myself and like, I wouldn't blow up on anybody. I would, try to control myself and like talk to the person I had issues with. And I'd be like, hey man, like, can you come talk to me? We would talk it out and I'd be like, hey, I heard you've been like, not I heard you've been like, but you've been coming at me kind of weird, man. I don't really appreciate it. Like, is there an issue between us? Whatever. And then they'll turn around and they'll go tell management and say, oh, I didn't do anything. He's just crazy. You can't defend yourself when everyone's against you because they're just going to use it against you even more. Especially if it's like a manager or something, dude, nothing's going to happen. HR is not on your side. They don't want to help you. You're really alone, especially when you're a new person or like you're learning or like you're an intern or a student or anything like that. You're really alone. You don't have anyone that's going to go to bat for you because everyone there, even if you're, kind of cool with some of your coworkers, they're not going to risk their career just to, maybe help you out a little bit. It's not how it works. And, it just reaffirms this whole situation is just like, it just reaffirms, like I already said, everything about your destiny and, and then you see likable people who are likable, people who've been treated nice their whole lives and they have this positive outlook and they're so happy. Oh yeah, everything's great. You need to think more positive. But they don't have to go through what I have to go through. In fact, they probably go through the opposite of what I go through. Most of their life, they probably had a lot of positive reaffirmations and stuff where they've never really had to go through like prolonged suffering and mistreatment to the point where your mind becomes solely negative. And I'm always pessimistic. If you're a pessimistic person, you've probably been beaten into that position. It doesn't just happen for no reason. It's not genetic. Life experiences make you a positive person or a negative person. And so I just wanted to rant a little bit. It just kind of, this is like a 1,000th time I've dealt with this before. It's not new to me at all. I'm able to, kind of contain myself a little bit more and control my emotions more now that I'm older and I've been through this so many times. But it's just like, I'll say that it is growing pains. When you go through stuff like this, it is growing pains. My career is growing. I am doing better. I am fighting for a better day and stuff. So I am going to have to face these things. Anytime I've taken a leap forward in my life, I've always had to go through a lot of stuff like this, these backlashes and like these people trying to gatekeep and like keep you down. They want to get rid of you. Like I said, they really want to get rid of you. They don't want to see you come up and do better than them. They really don't. And that's part of the issue. They really see like a young guy like me coming up and I'm busting my ass and I'm doing really good. They see that and they go, oh, this motherfucker. No, he's not going to do good on my watch. I'm going to get his ass. That's why they do this. That's why. So if you're like a young person or like just a good person and you're coming up in life, best believe there are gatekeepers that are going to want to destroy you. And I mean that. They're going to want to try to get you. They would love it if they saw you got fired. They would love it. They would be like, yes, oh, I knew it, man. I knew it. He couldn't hang. He's not as good as me. That's what they're thinking. But yeah, you just got to lock in. I mean, that's all I can really say. You just got to lock in. You got to just try to let it roll off your shoulders and just move forward. Like, but the way she said it today was basically like, oh, this, I'm gonna give you this warning, but after this, that's basically how she said it. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't do anything wrong. And if I did do something wrong, it could have been handled differently on her end. But I don't expect that. I don't expect anyone to be mature and professional. They're not gonna be. You have to be. I have to be. I'm not, because if I act the same way they act, they'll fire my ass. They get a pass for a multitude of reasons. They're seniors. They've been there for years. They're in a higher position, etc. They have a lot more pull than I do. I have nothing. I'm at the bottom once again. Every time you try to climb in life, you're going to be at the bottom over and over and over again. And it's just something you got to get used to. If you want a better life, you're going to have to be a bitch. You're going to have to sit down and take some abuse to get ahead and kiss some ass. Like, that's really how it goes in life. If you're not willing to do that stuff, and the people that aren't willing to do that stuff, I've noticed they don't really go anywhere in life. Or if they do, like, they had connections, they didn't have to go through all the ass kissing and whatnot to get to the top. They just had somebody give it the position to them. Oh, here you go. If it's family or friends or whatever. But, yeah, man, just here we are once again, like, getting shitted on. I'm used to it. But I am sick of it though. But, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just looking at it like I went through this in x-ray school like a year or two ago. And I knew the entire time that that's how it ended up being. Before it got bad, I knew going into the x-ray program that it was going to be fucking tough. And that people were going to try and stop me. And people were going to treat me like shit and bully me like they'd have the rest of my life. And sure enough, it happened. Hook, line, and sinker. Ooh. And then I knew once I was an x-ray tech and I wanted to do something more and become an MRI tech, I'm going to have to go through it again. And here we are. And you know what I mean? So, like, just fight through it, man. Fight through it because you can make it. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to, lose my cool like I have in the past and trick myself out of my positions and my blessings. I'm not doing that. And I don't recommend anyone do that. Stay strong. Do not let them knock you off balance. If somebody comes at you crazy, just yes, sir, yes, ma'am, whatever. But it's crazy how things can go from 0 to 100. Like, everything's going good. I'm busting my ass. I'm doing extra. I'm like trying to really, really be professional and be really good. And then here comes, boom, just out of nowhere, somebody coming in and attacking me. Like, damn, really? But that's how it goes. Yeah. What else did there's a bunch of shit I wanted to talk about, but basically that's it. Like, it kind of got me riled up, and I'm like, dude, I'm a decent person, and I don't deserve that type of shit. And if you're a decent person and you're trying to come up, you're going to deal with that shit too. But, she didn't come at anyone else like that. She said it was like, oh, it was everybody. It's a message to everybody at the end. She tried to play it off like, oh, I'm not coming at you. It's just like, it's a message to everybody. Bullshit. Because she didn't say anything to anyone else, as far as I know. You know what I mean? And like, one day everything's good. They're praising me, saying, good job, and the next day they're just waiting to attack me. I know it. I see it. They're just waiting to, like, for me to slip up so they can say, what are you doing? Like, oh, blah, blah, blah. All right, this is your final warning. Like, I already knew this shit was coming, bro. This is how it is in life. But, fuck, man. And it's like, okay, I think in my mind, like, if I was jacked and handsome, would they be coming at me like that? really ask yourself that. I'm asking myself that. If I was jacked and handsome and like a really cool guy, do you think they would be coming at me like that, trying to destroy me? I really don't think so. I really don't think so. And which leads me to believe that it is about appearance. Like if I wasn't like a skinny, like fucking chopped dude, I really don't think they would come at me like that. I don't think they would want to. I think when they see an ugly, skinny guy who looks goofy, they're just like, I don't like that guy. I just want to fucking attack him. I think that's how people really think. I know it is how people think. You can say I'm wrong or whatever, but, and there are things I can fix. I need a haircut. I need to lift weights. I need to do all that. But I just don't have the time or energy really, which is an excuse, but it's true at the same time. I work 5 days a week, and on my weekends, I'm exhausted. I don't feel like fucking lifting weights and stuff after I worked all week. Like, come on. But it is an excuse, and I need to put those to the side and really lock in. But for now, I'm not. Yeah, it's crazy the amount of abuse that the workplace allows. Because if I was wearing a wire and I recorded some of these conversations and some of this stuff like that today, I could really make a case for some, legal retaliation. Not that I want to, I really don't want to, but I'm sure a lot of people could. I'm sure if everyone wore a wire to work, you would record some of the most insane like treatment and insane fucking conversations ever. Some of the most unhinged shit ever that would get people fired if it were to be published. But, whatever, I guess. All that shit slides. If you're somebody who they pegged as like, oh yeah, you can abuse that guy, he's new, like we don't need him anyways, even if we fire him, whatever, you're gonna get some abuse. They're waiting. People, they're so fucking weird and angry in life that they're just waiting to take it out on somebody, abuse somebody. They just want to fucking punch somebody up. So they take someone like me, a decent dude who's coming up, and they're just like, they just go in for the kill. It's crazy, man.